So while we're waiting for the Android 14 developer preview to start, which hopefully should be very soon, Google is pushing yet another Android 13 QPR beta build, and beta 2 here includes a few things that we thought you needed to know about, so let's get into it. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe and then tap the bell icon to be among the first to watch our upcoming videos. I don't want to disappoint you too much, but there ain't really that much or not a great deal of things to specifically talk about in terms of larger features, but let's get into some of the biggest additions here, and some say the coolest out of Android 13 QPR2 Beta 2. It's worth noting that this actual build adds up to 21 new Unicode 15 emoji, and these are actually going to be made available with the March 2023 Pixel feature drop when that stable release does arrive. These include things like a shaking face, a pink heart, there's a light blue heart and a grey heart, making those 3 new heart colours available. There's new animals including a donkey, a moose, a goose, there's even a wing there and a blackbird, plus a jellyfish. On top of that, there are new plants including a hyacinth, there's a pea pod and even root ginger. Random new objects include a folding hand fan, a hair pick, there's also a flute and maracas for extra musical instruments, there's a Kanda and wireless logo here too, plus new hand symbols for a rightward and leftwards pushing hand themselves. We have to say these 21 new emoji might not be the most extensive, but more emojis is always a decent addition in our book. The downside though is that anyone not running Android 13 QPR2 Beta 2 might not actually be able to see these if you do send them to your contacts, so it is worth bearing that in mind that it's only available on this newest beta build right now. Some other changes in Android 13 QPR2 Beta 2 include the device control section. It is minor, but when activating from the lock screen or even the quick settings panel, you'll now see the Google Home logo alongside the name of your connected home or location. The text itself also looks a little bit bolder to my eye, but that might just be the placebo effect in action, but it is a nice little extra touch to let you know that you are controlling your Google Home hardware. Another incredibly minor change you might not even spot though is that when expanding the quick settings panel, on the left side the history button for notifications has been changed to manage. Tapping this now takes you to the main notification settings page as opposed to the notification history panel. So if you're a little bit discombobulated when you press this, this may help you out, but it does mean that you can control all of your notifications on one page rather than just seeing a history of those. Remember that neat glow or lava lamp effect that was added in the media player with the previous beta? Well, sadly, that has been removed here in QPR2 Beta 2. We're not sure why, but maybe it will return in future updates as Google has a bit of a habit of messing around with the media player, but overall it was a nice touch. It's sad to see it go, but we can't complain too much all the same. Realistically though, that is all of the user-facing functionality that we've found thus far. Sure, there are plenty of under-the-hood changes hidden with things like developer commands, but we don't think it's always fair to comment on these unless they are fully fleshed out. A few of these, if you don't want to read about them, you can find via the link in the description below, but most tend to be hidden and they're not quite ready for prime time, at least at this stage. Hopefully we'll see them in a future beta or maybe in Android 14, the developer previews when they do arrive. It is also worth noting that this update itself does fix a few issues that were present in Beta 1. There are also a few known issues on the previous update that have been resolved. These most notably, or the most notable fixes are for things like unresponsive system UI sections, plus camera fixes, particularly when switching back to the normal video capture mode from slow motion when using the Google Camera application. The app continued capturing slow motion video if the capture speed was changed between 1/8 and 1/4 speed while in that slow motion mode, so it's good to see this fixed if you do like to use that. Google also states that the Recents app menu can become a little bit unresponsive if you quickly change screen orientation from landscape to portrait or vice versa from this particular menu, so that's something to be aware of. And also picture-in-picture mode can crash or become slightly unresponsive when doing the same thing, switching that orientation from portrait to landscape. This might actually also bring up a pop-up message that will state that settings keep stopping, and then the system settings app itself can't be opened, so you may need to restart your phone to resolve this if you do encounter it. That's just a few of those issues to be aware of, but if you do planning on running QPR2 Beta 2 on your device, it is worth noting that it might not be plain sailing. It's still something we don't suggest doing on your main device or your only device if you do only have one Pixel. That said, we have to say, overall, despite those few minor issues, it does seem to be pretty smooth thus far. But overall though, that's everything that we've caught here in Android QPR2 Beta 2. It did catch us off guard a little bit when it did drop, but there's a few neat changes here that will likely be joined by more refinement later down the line. As for Android 14 though, given previous timelines, it could be very well right around the corner. Let us know though what you think of these truly minimal changes in Android 13 QPR2 Beta 2 down in the comment sections below, but hopefully you enjoyed this super short video looking at one of the latest beta builds. After all though, this is Damien with 95 Google saying thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.